Welcome to a quick primer series of videos on Legends of Runeterra, the brand new League of Legends card game. My name is Monkey, and with the news recently of the release this Thursday, I thought it'd be great to have an intro video for anyone interested and hasn't gotten the chance to play hands-on yet. Whether you come from Magic, Hearthstone, Artifact, or you're new to card games. This is going to be a pretty introductory video on the basic mechanics of the game, so if you're already informed or you come from other card games, click here for the second part for a more in-depth look into some of the mechanics of the game. Welcome to Legends of Runeterra. Let's get into it. Legends of Runeterra is an online collectible card game set in the League of Legends universe. With mechanics taken from other established games as well as some unique ones, the game is setting itself up for an awesome open beta season. With this upcoming release, we'll be getting two distinct modes of play: the ranked ladder and expedition mode, which is a limited build your deck as you go kind of mode. Yes, there's normal games as well if you don't feel like playing ranked or you're still trying to learn the game. Let's hop into the mechanics. So at the beginning of each game, players will draw 4 cards and have an opportunity to mulligan, meaning you get to pick which cards to send to the bottom of your deck and draw new ones. This is pretty important for making sure your hand looks good for the beginning of the game. Then, both players will then draw 1 card and gain 1 mana level. Now, there are 2 specific components to play: turns and rounds. Players will alternate their turn to make an action, to either play a card, make an attack, or the option to pass their turn to the other player. Once both players have passed their turn, or both players do not have any more mana to spend, the round ends. At the beginning of each round, the attacking player and the defending player will switch. Both players draw a card and gain a mana, and the attacking player will be the first to act, including having the option to attack without having any cards be played, also known as an open attack. So let's talk combat. Each round, the attacking player can spend their attack token to attack with units of their choosing. You can decide the order that they'll attack in, as they'll attack from left to right. The defending player will then assign blockers to each attacking unit. Any unit that is unblocked will deal direct damage to the opponent. When units clash, damage happens simultaneously, and any units below 0 health will be destroyed. Damage dealt to units persist and do not reset or heal at the end of the round. And obviously, if you knock your opponent down to 0, you win the game. Moving on, let's go over the card types. You got 3 distinct ones: followers, champions, and spells. Followers and champions are pretty similar, as they both are considered units in keyword context, and they share mana costs, attack, health, and effect texts. However, champions are slightly different in that you can only have 6 champion cards in your deck, and they have powerful transformation abilities when certain conditions have been satisfied. This varies from card to card. While champions are generally a bit better than followers, it's not always correct to play as many champions as you can into a deck, because it depends on deck to deck. The last difference is that duplicate champion cards will transform into their specific spell when another copy of the champion is on your side of the board. If the champion card on the board is to leave the field, the champion card in hand will then revert back to being a champion. Both followers and champions are essential to every deck strategy, as they'll be the main method of controlling the flow of the game and bringing your opponent down to 0. Last but not least, we have spells. Instead of having bodies to interact with other cards, spells will interact with the game in some way when played. Some will deal damage, some will draw cards, some even create followers. One great mechanic of spells is spell mana. Excess unspent mana is saved up into your spell mana bar, up to 3 mana, which is available for you to cast spells for the rest of the game or until you use them. Sometimes it's the right play to wait the first couple of turns to save up mana for a big play. Now, spells come in 3 different flavors: slow, fast, and burst. These are spell speeds and will dictate how and when you can choose to play them. Slow spells can be played at the same times that a unit can, so whenever you have action priority, but fast and burst spells can be played in reaction to other cards. The thing is that fast spells can't respond to burst spells, and control of action doesn't change after a burst spell is cast and resolved. Understanding when you can play spells and when your opponent can respond to your cards is often what will make the difference between who wins and who loses. To wrap things up for this video, let's go over the deck building basics in the game. On release, there will be over 6 different regions with a card pool of over 350 different cards. When building your deck, you have the option of choosing up to 2 different regions to select your cards from, and up to 6 champion cards to include in your deck. Each region has 4 different types of champions currently that you can choose from. So you'll be able to also add up to 3 copies of each card into your 40 card deck. There aren't any generic cards that can be played with every single region, so building your deck will be a pretty difficult process, but stay tuned on this channel for deck profiles, deck building theory, and more awesome videos. I hope you found this video useful, especially if you're new to the card game genre. Click here to watch part 2 of this kickstarting series of my videos. If you have more questions, stop by my stream. The links are down below. Thanks for watching.